Hi all, I'm Mike, and in this series we're going through all 91 issues of battle games in Middle-earth. We're now up to issue 23. Issue 23 is a bit of a strange one. We get some models in the form of the Warriors of Minas Tirith. We'll paint them up shortly, but we don't do any terrain building. Instead, they take us through a collection of tools and materials. Even the battle game in this issue isn't really a battle game of any significance. It's almost like the authors just gave up for this one. Maybe they needed a break after those epic Moria builds we've just been going through. Anyway, let's get flicking and take a look. We start with a look at what Gondor is and the forces that go along with it. The captains, warriors, rangers and knights. And my favourite looking models in all of these are the guards. I just think they look amazing. I actually don't have any of these in my collection, unfortunately, but hopefully in some of the future magazines maybe I'll get one. I would love to get my hands on one and paint one up. Into the battle game section, and we get an overview of what is essentially how to create your own battles. Mainly they're trying to get it to represent the other battles that are going on during this time, which when it boils down to it is essentially set up a board 4x4 and put on some of the terrain that we built already, each pick a side and then essentially just fight. So it's not exactly the most inspiring after they've been giving us all these really cool sort of battle games. That moves on to Pete and Roland playing a game, which at the end of the sort of third turn it then tells us that that's going to continue out in the next magazine, so I'm not really holding out much hope that the next issue will be any better than this one for the battle game. I guess we'll just have to see. Into the painting workshop, and they only take 2 pages essentially to do the Warriors of Minas Tirith. They are a really simple paint job, just some silver and black and a little bit of gold trim. The only difficult bit being the shield. Anyway, I took that as my opportunity to test out mixing my own paints again, something that I really enjoy doing and want to get better at. And I'm also reading the book Colour and Light, so I wanted to put some of that into practice as well. The full episode can be found up here, or maybe up here, one of those sides. The modelling section is also a little bit unusual this time. Instead of a new project, they take us through a list of tools and materials, and if by issue 23 you've already been following along, you'll already own most of these materials, so it feels a little bit redundant. They have been shown in previous magazines. The only couple of strange things is they show a hot wire cutter, which is questionable at best. But one interesting bit is on the modelling putty section, which is using green stuff. They should say that all the models, the metal models that we've received up to now, have all been sculpted with that modelling putty. Now, I've used green stuff before and I can only say the level of skill that some of those sculptors must use to be able to use green stuff and create that level of detail is just insane, so kudos to them. And that's it for this issue. As you can probably tell from the tone of my voice, I found the whole issue a little bit disappointing. There's no terrain build, there's a fairly basic painting guide, and there's no real battle game. But next time does look a bit more exciting. We'll be seeing some orcs and Uruk-hai of Mordor. I've never painted these sculpts before, so I'm actually really looking forward to that sort of dirty Mordor orc look. Sadly, it does look like we might still be without a proper battle game or a modelling project, but I guess we'll see. Thanks for sticking with me through this one. A huge thanks to my patrons and everyone who's left a comment on any of my other videos. Your support when I read those comments really just give me a boost and makes me just love making these videos. So until next time, I'll see you later.